Supernatural creatures. The Faceless Choir. There is a melody the world forgot. A song not written, but whispered by those who no longer have mouths to sing. Good evening. I'm Norman Watson tonight. We unseal the hymn of the damned. Our journey leads to a forgotten corner of Eastern Europe, where a monastery was built not to worship, but to warn. A place where silence was never empty, because it was listening back. Would you follow a voice with no mouth? Tonight, we descend into a melody that eats memories and erases faces. The Monastery of Ashen Vale. Built in 1432, the Monastery of Ashen Vale was said to be a sanctuary for holy reflection, but records suggest it became something else, something far darker. Locals feared it. They said the monks never stopped singing, even in death. This isn't just a ghost story. It's a warning carved in Gregorian chant. Old villager, we hear the voices when the wind comes from the east. Soft at first, like lullabies, then screaming. You will see faceless silhouettes are etched into the rock. The monks were said to have taken vows of silence, yet their harmonies echo still. How is that possible? Witnesses claim the choir never had mouths, not even in life. How do you scream when you have no face? What if the choir isn't performing? It's hunting. The survivor's account. In 1998, a linguistic student named Klara Nemecek dared to enter the ruins of the monastery. She was researching forgotten chants. What she found instead was a melody that wanted to remember her. She recorded everything until the tape turned to screams. Klara. Reenactment. There was no wind, no birds, no echo, just a hum. It was beautiful. Then I saw them. 10 or 12. Robes, but no faces. Their heads turned toward me, every single one, and they sang. She described a choir that turned toward her without eyes. Each has a head with no mouth, just stretched, smooth skin vibrating with invisible sound waves, a phenomenon now known as harmonic infusion. In folklore, it's when a supernatural entity uses sound, specifically vocal resonance, to implant psychic patterns in a victim's mind. Show Clara's camcorder glitching violently. Audio distorts. The background melody grows louder while her breathing becomes panicked. Victims claim the song burrows in. You don't just hear it, you relive it. Over and over, even in dreams. Especially in dreams. Some songs are meant to be forgotten. This one follows you home. She escaped, but the song didn't. The last clip shows Klara whispering into the camera before it cuts to black. They want a new voice, mine. What would drive a brilliant mind to fear the sound of their own name? We're not finished. The choir doesn't stop at one verse. This is only the first stanza of a symphony it screams. Origins of the Unholy Hymn. The earliest known documentation of the Faceless Choir dates back to 1458. 26 years after the monastery's completion, but it wasn't found in a church ledger or holy text. It was smuggled out in the diary of a monk named Friar Velimir, whose final entry simply read, "The music now writes me." What kind of song writes you? Monks reaching toward the sky, mouths sewn shut, musical notes pouring from their stitched skin like blood. Friar Velimir vanished days later during morning prayer. Witnesses say he stopped mid-hymn, looked up, smiled, and dissolved into the air like ash caught in sunlight. He vanished mid-hymn, but 3 nights later, his voice was heard from the cellar, a reconstructed stone chapel. Flickering torches illuminate ghostly shadows pacing behind stained glass. The choir's hum slowly builds into a piercing, brain-shaking harmony. A process known by local legend as dissonant reclamation. It's said the choir reclaims those it deems worthy by dissolving their bodies and re-etching their souls into its eternal melody. Friar Velimir floats upward. His body shatters into black musical notes that swirl into the ceiling's archway. From nowhere, a voice hums his last hymn, distorted and aching. Your body dies. Your voice lives on, trapped in song. If these monks found eternal peace, why do their voices still scream beneath the monastery floor? The monastery as it appeared in 1502. Empty bell tower. Yet locals reported bells tolling nightly without a soul inside. Why does the bell still toll? At 3 a.m. every night. The deeper we go into this mystery, the clearer one truth becomes. The Faceless choir does not want to be remembered, but it must be witnessed. Footage opens with shaky handheld camera. Time stamped 2:48 a.m. 3 investigators, Dana, Eli, and Rostan, before the monastery's collapsed west wing. In 2017, the web series Gravescope sent 3 investigators to the ruins for what they called the Chant Challenge. What they caught was no internet stunted, was a broadcast from hell. Their microphones picked up something not human. Donna walks ahead. Audio picks up faint humming from multiple directions, though they're alone. Donna, on cam, whispering, "Do you hear that?" It's like humming behind the walls. Suddenly, she freezes, clutching her throat. Her flashlight drops. Eli runs to her. Eli, shouting, "Dana! Dana, talk to me, say something." She never screamed. She couldn't. Night vision captures Dana's terrified eyes. Her mouth moves, but no sound emerges. Subtle harmonics begin to rise, almost like laughter buried in melody. Vocal redaction. The scene shifts into nightmare mode. This phenomenon is referred to as vocal redaction, a supernatural event in which an individual's ability to speak is stripped, not physically, but psychically. The choir steals your voice, not just your sound, but your soul's ability to call out. What if the only thing you can say is in someone else's voice? Camcorder distortion. Dana, now silent, writes frantically in her notebook. "They're singing from inside me." Her eyes reveal subtle vibrations, her pupils pulsing rhythmically in sync with a faint background hum. They fled the monastery. Dana was hospitalized. She never spoke again, but 2 weeks later, her roommate reported hearing a lullaby coming from the walls. She lost her voice, but it kept singing without her. The audio distorts into the same haunting hum from the monastery floor. If the choir took her voice, what else did it take? What if you become the echo of a hymn you never sang? Norman, on screen, holding Dana's journal. Tell us what you think. Is this madness, or the choir expanding its symphonome voice at a time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We do read them, even the ones whispered. The live stream that summoned silence. Translating the forgotten hymn, Dr. Harrow reads the lost chant. Dr. Caleb Harrow, professor of dead languages, spent 12 years researching what he called the language of chained breath. He believed the Faceless choir spoke a dialect that didn't evolve. It bled. He believed sounds could rot the soul. Dr. Harrow, flipping open a brittle manuscript. His expression is pale, nervous. D.R. Harrow, on stream. What I'm about to read has never been spoken outside monastery walls. Some believe it's a harmonic key. I believe it's a curse. He begins chanting. The words are guttural, wrong. The waveform on the screen distorts. Chat floods with messages. Are those voices? What's behind you? 2 minutes into the reading, something changed. The lights dimmed, though he never moved. A second voice joined him, then a third. A hymn only one person read, but multiple voices sang. Audible invocation. Notes bend into whispers, cries, sobs, each carrying weight, as though memories are being burned into sound. This event marks what scholars now call an audible invocation, a sonic ritual, where speech becomes the summoning tool, not of gods, of things left behind in the shadows of sanctuaries. What happens when language becomes a weapon? Dr. Harrow freezes mid-chant. His eyes roll upward. His mic crackles violently. Behind him, The books fall silently, as if muffled by a vacuum. The live stream abruptly ended. Authorities found Dr. Harrow catatonic lips sewn shut, not by thread, but fused flesh. His vocal cords? Intact. Still vibrating at 2 hertz hours later. He never spoke again, but something inside him hummed.